Hi everybody, this is Caitlin with Ascending Aries, and I'm here today to explain how I, from a channeled message, saw how we accomplish creating a heaven on earth, which I believe is New Earth, or as we're all kind of learning it to be. So I've got notes here I'm going to share specifically from that channel message. And basically, to begin with, we're just going to jump right in. I'm just going to explain first something called the rubber band effect that I kind of came up with. And I'm sure it's a real thing. But anyways, so with like a rubber band, we know that when we stretch elastics, if we really want to stretch it to its fullest extent, we do it very slowly as not to like rip it. So even like with this little tiny thing, when I stretch it out, even when I stretch it to its fullest extent, if I like let it sit there for a second and relax and just very slowly stretch, I can feel the elastic relax a little bit. And then I can stretch it further. And then after a little bit of time, I'm allowed to stretch it even further. And then if I sit there, I'm able to stretch it further. So if you stretch elastic bands and like bungee cords or swim caps, this is how I saw it because I was on the swim team. If you stretch it slowly, you're able to keep going farther and farther. But when you let go, when you snap that elastic back to its regular place, it snaps back like that. So, I mean, I could stretch this thing all day long, slowly, but as soon as I let go, it snaps back, like, quickly, immediately, to its original shape and its original state of being. So I kind of see that as when we were created, we are created in God's vision, God's image. We're created in God's image. We are kind of like God's source. We have that within us. And that's our base, our tether, our base, our foundation. So over time, we have created, so if we are in God's image, whatever we create is in God's image. So God energy, God's source, vibrates at a certain energy. It's the most pure, peace, all love and light energy that there is. It's a certain vibration. Over the years and over time, humanity has stretched so far away from that pure tethered place. And I mean, we have filled this, like, in case you can't see it, this rubber band, we've filled it with shit. Like, we've just, like, over time has been, like, genocide and human trafficking and murder and rape and abuse and politics and all of this shit that has stretched us so far away from that pure God source energy that we all came into this planet as. I mean, a baby is as innocent as it can be. There is just something pure and innocent about babies because they haven't been exposed to the stretch, the feeling of all this just shit. So over the years, leading up to this point where we are now, we've gone through the stretch. It's been slow, and now we are doing what I call the snapback. So we're snapping back. The way that we're doing that, like I said, you let go and it snaps back immediately to its original form, and so it seems like that's super quick. And that explains why right now our ascension as a collective unit is very quickly waking up. It's because that snapback is quick. It's way quicker than the stretch. So when we think of things in linear time, yeah, it does seem really fast compared to how things have like gotten so bad. So, and also another like way of comparing this, so like these energy waves, these purge waves, think of like when you do laundry or you clean the rugs or something. The best way to clean something, the most like effective way to get something as clean as possible is to beat the shit out of it. Absolutely beat it. And so that's what's happening to us. We are like, our human bodies and our psyches and everything is kind of like being beaten the shit out of in order to beat the shit out of us. Like get it all out, all that dirt, all that everything. The most effective way to clean something is to just like really punch it out. So that's why it feels a little bit like we're being beaten by all these energy waves. And then another way of thinking about it is when we drink alcohol. So we might take multiple shots, take multiple shots over a period of hours, and we get progressively drunker and drunker. We as a society have been drinking the poison of just all of the negative energy, and we get drunker and drunker. But then when you get to a certain point and you're so full to the fullest extent of this poisonous alcohol energy, we throw up, we vomit, we purge it out of us. Our body is like, nope, and gets it out. And in that moment of purging, I mean, we drank for hours, and now in just seconds, it's all outside of us, and we sober up. I mean, at least for me, that's happened before in the past, where it's like, I took hours to get drunk, and it just took about 1 minute to throw up and sober up. So that's what's happening to us as a collective. That's why it seems so like all at once, purging it all out. It's because we are all at once purging it all out. It's super extreme, but we're getting all the alcohol we've ingested over the years out through this one moment. If you want to just kind of like compare it that way. So that's why these like purge cycles seem so extreme, but that's the quickest way to get us to this original state, our sober state of mind. So us waking up as a collective is us like waking up and being like, whoa, we are so far from God energy, and so we collectively are sobering up, and that is a lot quicker than the getting drunk process. So that's why it seems like over a long period of time we've gotten here, and how quickly we are coming to this new way of living and being and understanding. It's because these intense purge cycles, in it out, and now we're sobering up. So anyway, so the snapback, which is what that whole getting sobered up part is. We are returning. We were so stretched out, and the snapback is quickly returning us to our original God source and our original foundation and Christ-like core. So it's almost like magnets attracting. Also, God source is attracting us back. Like, we're so far away. Like, the more tense the bungee cords are stretched, like, it can only go so far. And we've reached that, y'all. We as a collective, we've reached that fullest extent. Like, real shit's going down, and y'all know that. And so once it goes as far as it can, there's nowhere to go but back, and snap back quickly. So we're doing that. God is attracting us back to this original state. So what is this original state? Well, I mean, the Garden of Eden with Adam and Eve, and if you see it, Aluna Ash has described it as Adam being atom, like your atoms, and Eve being waves, atoms and waves. And I feel like Eden is kind of like the original heaven on earth. The equal balance of atoms and waves on earth was Eden, this pure and perfect place. We're returning to the same home. So, but we don't just like return and sit on it. We create it. So how this happens is, I'm going to draw the prettiest picture. Basically, so here we are, here's Earth, and Earth is like where we are right now. It's 3D, it's us. It encapsulates everything, including, so whether we liked it or not, or whether we actually were the ones who invented it, we as humanity created like cigarettes, nuclear things, plastics, all the negative junk and stuff. But anyway, so we as humans, oh, look how cute that little gingerbread man is. When we meditate or any form of enlightenment like quantum, hypno, healing, service to others, helping others is a way of doing it. We basically ascending, think of ascension, the ascension process. Ascend is up, so ascending is up. So we ascend up. When we meditate, we leave the spirit, this physical realm, this 3D whatever. We leave that out of our bodies. It's like an out-of-body experience. And even though you might not feel an actual out-of-body experience, when you connect and you see a white light, or you feel the warmth, or a voice, or a guide, or just a knowing, even if you don't hear or see anything, just like something changes in you. What that is just for a lack of better way of describing it, I'll just say that like this is That's a cloud. Oh, look at the funny little cloud. That's a cloud. Imagine this as being like heaven. Heaven, it encapsulates all like higher beings, angels is how I was seeing it. Just for a way for my brain to really connect what I knew and how to describe it. Angels. So when we ascend, we connect to this heavenly source. And our guides, I kind of saw maybe as like angels, like they descend from us. Even though I say they, it's not always just actual beings. But that information, that connection, is something meeting us in the middle. It's like it meets with us and it shares the information. Now, this going up and up and up, and this information being shared down with us, this is creating a bridge, a rainbow bridge, a bridge of information that connects this earth and this heaven ideal. This bridge holds everything. It connects all information of, it serves as a transport of information. Bridge is open to all who seek it. This is what I wrote from the channel when I was channeling. So if you seek this information, there's this bridge, you create this bridge. Your root chakra and your 3D vibrations are an anchor onto Earth, onto this old Earth. But we are an anchor on actual Earth. When we meditate and ascend above ourselves, we connect to the beings above us, and those are anchors of heaven. Just as a lack of a better way to describe it so people can actually think and visualize it. It really is mind-blowing and mind-boggling, but when it connects and we have this bridge of teleportation, of communication being shared between all of us. And so I also, during the channel, I wrote down, or I said, breathing white light from pelvic root up to crown and above is my secret passcode to get into the party. So through meditation, we create this bridge, this telepathic connection. So I think you all get that. So there's two keys that I also wrote down, an inner key and an outer key. So these are keys of how to make the heaven on earth, basically. So the inner key is spiritual growth. Our inner self must expand spiritually, becoming more Christ-like, clear, clean, cleansed, purify, whatever. And then your outer key, there's an inner key and outer key. The outer key is manifestation ability. And that is where we must realize that outwardly we can change and create our own surroundings and situations. So we don't want, the fruit is only as good as the root from the tree it grows from. So to manifest something of purity and of goodness or whatever, we ourselves must be pure and good, because what comes from us is a direct mirrored reflection of what is within us. Like if we pour water from a dirty cup into another cup, that water is still going to be dirty. So we can't just magically create these clean things from a dirty inside. So the first key is on our inner self. We focus on ourselves. We do self-spiritual work. I've been living by the idea of, it's called Kaizen. I think Japanese, maybe Chinese, I don't know. But it's the practice of continual improvement. And that's what Kaizen stands for, is continual improvement. So I am always continually improving myself, and that doesn't mean I think that I'm like this really imperfect being, which is true. We all are imperfect in ways. But I know that I have things to work on, as we all do. So if we continue this inner work, and we make ourselves internally pure and Christ-like at the core, then when we manifest, what comes from us, being a direct reflection of what's within us, will also be pure and Christ-like. So when we meditate, we connect through the bridge, and we receive information from higher beings and our higher selves and the higher realm. We receive this information of how to create our inner core to be a certain way. So when we meditate, it really cleans the inside of us. So then we can, outside of us, manifest a certain way of living. I feel like, I know it seems like I'm repeating myself. It's more of just to try to make sure that every person will be able to understand what I'm trying to say. So basically, we through the bridge, we receive steps on living enlightened. Christ consciousness like leaks out of heaven through that bridge, and it like seeps into us and into our souls through the connection. And so we bring that into our physical timelines when we do that. We allow or permit ourselves to strive to be Christian or Christ-like. Now, I know the stigma around being Christian. I know the stigma around the word Christian. I get it because I was raised in the Bible Belt. I went to church on Sundays and Wednesdays. I did prayer circle at school during breaks, prayer at the flag, FCA. Like, I was all about it. My Bible like ripped in half because I was all into it. So I was surrounded by a lot of Christians of all types, and I understand why there is a stigma around Christianity. I don't even like associate with a lot of those people or that way of being anymore because of certain things that came to light. However, if you break down the word Christian, it means, and I really hope this is what it means, because this is what I was told, and if I'm wrong, I look like a dumbass and just a jerk. But Christian means Christ-like. So yeah, we do want to be Christian because we want to be Christ-like. We want to embody Christ consciousness. So when I say Christian, I don't want there to immediately be this wall of like, nope. The essence of heaven permeates ourselves and our way of being when we embody Christ consciousness. The more we connect to heaven and angels, the more heavenly and angelic we become. It like leaks into us. So yeah, I get that you guys probably got that. So basically, the end all of this, what I have written at the very end is, okay, now imagine all of humanity purged of lower vibrations, the inner key, all 3D tendencies and patterns released. We return to Eden. We all ascend and connect to our highest selves and angels, and this leads to us embodying a Christ consciousness. We then learn to manifest. As mentioned, what comes from us is a direct reflection of what is within us. So, if we have a heavenly, angelic, Christ-like core, would we not manifest a heavenly, angelic, Christ-like planet? Would this not be heaven on earth? So through this bridge, through this connection, through meditation and enlightenment and all that fun, good, yummy, juicy stuff, we become Christ-like, and then what we manifest is Christ-like. So then our surroundings are Christ-like, and before you know it, I mean, Christ in heaven, like heaven on earth. We've almost like dragged heaven down and put it on earth. In the Lord's Prayer, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thine kingdom come, thine will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That's the whole like point. That's the whole purpose. Is that yeah. So basically, I'm gonna go through like the Lord's Prayer, and I kind of just break it down the way I see it now in a different video. But basically, there's not really much more to it, guys. How we create a heaven on earth is letting heaven seep into us through this connected bridge with angels when we meditate. And then through that, and it coming into us when we manifest and make things outside of ourselves, it's just that same Christ energy. And if we're all angelic and Christ-like, then our planet will be angelic and Christ-like. Some people think we're actually going to a separate planet. Some people think we're just going to stay on this planet. I don't really know. I don't really care. All I know is that what really matters is producing a heaven on earth. So there we have it. Basically, I get why the purging is so extreme. The way is because the best way to clean something is to beat it out of them. I know, everyone, and I'm right there with you with all this purge cycle. I mean, it's intense. This is some really extreme and intense times. Like, even right now, like, I mean, it's a full moon right now, and it's just like, fuck, like, I've gone through so much, and I know you guys have too. I know, makeup everywhere. I get it, y'all. Like, it's hard, but that's why it's so extreme. It's because we're like purging it all out, like all at once, so that way we can more quickly, like, it's an exciting thing if you really think about it, because now we more quickly are going to become a heaven on earth, because we more quickly are going to release all of the negative and 3D and lower vibrations. So if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. My email is ascendingaries144@gmail.com. So if you'd like to, you can send me emails, you know, talking about your experience, if you really connect with this, if this makes sense to you. And yeah, I guess that's it. I hope that you guys have a good purge and hang in there. This is worth it. And meditate, because guess what? Every one of us meditating is creating that, like, more connections. And if we all as a humanity connect up to heaven, like just imagine what would happen. So there you have it. I hope that y'all have a great day, week, month, year, and that everything is going well for you. I love you so much. I'm sending you all the light and the love and support in the world. You got this. Peace out.